Hi everyone! In this class, we'll discuss something about kitchen. Two things are vitally important in a kitchen: cooking utensils and cooking methods. When one goes into a kitchen, cooking utensils are the first thing that comes into sight. For Western cooking, there are diverse utensils to be used, such as kitchen knives, meat pounder or meat tenderizer, holding steel, frying pan, egg beater, potato masher, measuring glass, measuring spoon, etc. Apparently, there are fewer cooking utensils in a Chinese kitchen compared with its counterpart. The usual tools are knives, cutting board, wok, casseroles, and stew pot. This is an apparent reflection of different thought modes of these two cultures. Chinese culture appreciates the beauty of vagueness, while the Western culture highlights exactness. Take a knife as an example. For Western cuisine, there are different styles of knives for different purposes. The most important knife in Western cooking is chef's knife. It's often heard that a kitchen is not complete without chef's knife. It has a non-triangular blade with a snide curvature. It is available in lengths from 8 inches to 12, and it is heavy and thick, especially as a bolster. It can be used for almost everything from mincing garlic to cutting through chicken bones. Carving knife and slicing knife are to slice fish and meats, such as beef, pork, poultry, and ham. The only difference between them is the size of the blade. A carving knife usually has a thinner and shorter blade than a slicing knife, but both are longer than a normal chef's knife. Besides, there are serrated knives to slice bread, harder roasts, and items with tough skins without demolishing them. Boning knife to separate large muscles from their accompanying bones. Cleaver for heavy tasks like chopping through chicken bones. And a paring knife for extremely fine peeling or cutting tiny wedges of citrus peel. In contrast, in common Chinese kitchen, only two types of knives are needed: slicing knife and chopping knife. Of course, there are more types of knives in China, such as a bone chopping knife, wenwu knife, sun knife, rubber patting knife, duck slicing knife, roasted meat knife, etc. But they are not popular, and it's believed that a good meal is not determined by knives, but by the chef. A real excellent chef can make all sorts of cuisines with only one good knife, and there is a saying, 一把菜刀走天下. Then, what's the secret of Chinese chefs to make delicious cuisine? First, Chinese chefs pay much attention to their cutting skills. For Chinese, the appearance of a dish counts a lot. The Western chefs often cook food in chunks, and the diners cut it by themselves. That's partly the reason why the Westerners need so many dinnerware. In contrast, Chinese chefs cut the ingredients into small pieces before cooking so that the diners just need to take food from the plates and put it into mouths directly. But the shape of the ingredients is not just right for mouth, but also pleasing to eyes. The ingredients are often cut into shreds, slices, cubes, or short segments. Fine cutting skills can make the dish attractive and help work up an appetite. For Chinese, They are not just eating, they are enjoying the culinary art brought by the chef's cutting skill. A typical example is 千丝豆腐. It requires a subtle technique to cut tofu as thin as hair. The thought of the image of those thin strips would always stimulate appetite. At the same time, it's easy for tofu to absorb the flavor of seasonings. What's more, the mouthfeel is much better. The next point is the methods of cooking. There are more methods of cooking in Chinese cuisine than that in Western cuisine. Basically, there are 29 methods in Chinese cuisine, while there are 8 main methods in Western cuisine. In English, the word fry is used to mean any kind of cooking food in hot oil. But in Chinese, more detailed cooking have been recognized, named, and employed to different ingredients. There are 炒 to fry, 溜 to saute with starch extract, 炸 to deep fry with food soaked in hot oil, 爆 to stir fry meat quickly on high temperature fire, 炝 to cook in boiling water or fry in hot oil for a short time, then take out and mix with seasonings. 烹 to fry the pre-deep fried ingredients with the seasonings, sometimes in starch sauce. 煎 to fry flat-shaped ingredients in shallow oil, often shaking the pan to make food heated evenly. 贴 to fry only one side of a mixture of ingredients to keep it crispy at one side and tender at the other. 烧 to heat ingredients 1 or 2 times, then add water and seasonings. Cook on small fire after it boils. 焖 to braise or simmer in a covered pot with a little amount of water on a slow fire until the liquid is reduced and absorbed. 煨 to simmer over a slow fire. 炖 to stew. 蒸 to steam. 煮 to boil in water. 焯 to boil ingredients in water shortly to get them half ready and remove unwanted taste or smell. 炖 to quick boil. 烩 to cook shredded pancakes or noodles with meat, vegetables, and water and add starch sauce before taking the dish out of wok. 腌 to pickle. 熏 to smoke. 卤 to cook ingredients in a mixture of oil, wine, and all kinds of spices over a small fire for several hours. The food is served as cold fish. 酱 it is similar to 卤, but the mixture of sauce will be absorbed by ingredients and its remainders cover the food. It can be served as hot or cold dish. 拌 to mix shredded raw ingredients with seasonings and sauce. 烤 to roast. 冻 to freeze meat after its collagen has been resolved after cooking or steaming. 拔丝 to crisp fry with syrup. 蜜汁 to cover cooked ingredients with thick sauce or sugar and honey. 拔 to boil half-ready ingredients with soup and seasonings with high fire, then simmer and at last cook with the starch on high fire. 涮 to boil food in a prepared soup in the middle of the table and eat it with sauce. 挂霜 to deep fry and then heat in melted white sugar. Basically, there are 8 methods of cooking for Western cuisine: to fry, to braise, to stew, to simmer, to bake or roast, to grill, to steam, and to boil. From the above comparison of Chinese and Western cooking methods, It is not hard to find that the Western culture is more rational, while Chinese culture is more perceptual. The Westerners take a calm and scientific attitude toward cooking utensils, so they can produce so many different knives to deal with different kinds of ingredients. But in China, cuisine is not a subject of science. It is a kind of art, just like music, poem, and painting. People can sense the meaning conveyed by a dish from its name, shape, and ingredients. Chinese people also love to enjoy an atmosphere created by a meal and dining environment. In a sense, Chinese culture is more subjective and human-centered. In Chinese culture, it is human that controls, and it is human to be served. So, much attention has been paid to chef's skills and creative cooking ability. That's why a Chinese family has fewer knives but more cooking recipes than a Western family. The rational and scientific mind of Westerners is apparent in their attitude toward measurement. For almost every Western family, there is measuring glass or measuring spoon in the kitchen. They would follow a recipe with exact numbers of quantities of ingredients. In this way, they can produce a standard flavor. On the other hand, their scientific attitude makes sure the types and the quantities of ingredients meet their daily need, which promotes their health. However, in a traditional Chinese recipe, the quantity of ingredients is not sure. A chef can make minor change to make a dish suitable for certain diners. This requires a chef's perceptual and innovative abilities. That's why there are fewer methods of cooking in Western cuisine, while there is a variety of methods in China. And there would be even more in the future, since Chinese chefs combine traditional methods with Western methods nowadays. More and more new methods of cooking appeared, and more new dishes have been created in China. Okay, that's what we needed to learn in this part. See you next time.